Hello and welcome back to Counseling Corner, brought to you by UC Davis Student Health and Counseling Services. Each episode, we will address a new mental health and wellness topic. I'm Dr. Karen Miller, and today we are covering mindfulness. In today's episode, we will discuss the skills involved in using mindfulness. Oftentimes, people think that mindfulness is only meditation. And yet meditation is just one form of mindfulness. Mindfulness is actually paying attention to the present moment on purpose. It's an act of consciously focusing the mind in the present moment without judgment and without attachment to the moment. And it's a practice of really bringing the mind's attention back, gently ushering the attention back to the present moment. Mindfulness is really a muscle. It takes practice to grow that muscle into the mindful awareness. And so by practicing these skills, you can help yourself to become more aware, to become more present in your daily lives, and to slow down your minds, to slow the stress and anxiety that comes and takes over, maybe particularly right now during these stressful times. It can also help one to activate in one's life, to not feel so stuck, to be able to bring that attention to the present moment. So let's talk about the what skills. What do we do to really practice mindfulness? We observe, right? We notice what's happening inside and outside of our bodies. We really pay attention on purpose to the present moment. So ways that you can practice observing, or even just lying on the ground and watching the clouds in the sky. You can observe your breath as you breathe in and out, really feeling your belly rise and fall. You can observe the taste and act of eating. And then we describe. We put words on the experience. When a feeling or thought arises, acknowledge it. For example, sadness has just enveloped me, or my stomach muscles are tightening. Label what you observe. Put a name on your feelings or your thoughts or your actions. Labeling what it is will help you to identify what it is. In particular, we oftentimes get fused to thoughts as facts. And when we can use this describe skill to really identify our thoughts as just thoughts, our feelings as our feelings, and our actions as our actions, we can start to differentiate what is fact and what is thought. So take your opinions out of the facts, right? Just describing who, what, when, where. Marsha Linehan has a nice tool for describing facts as facts. She says, if you can't observe it through your senses, you can't describe it. So if you can't observe it through your 5 senses, that's not a fact. And then you participate, throwing yourself completely into activities of the current moment. Do not separate yourself from what you're doing in the moment. Feeling happy or feeling sad, let yourself feel those feelings in that moment. Become one with whatever you're doing, with whatever you're feeling. and act intuitively from your wise mind. Do just what is needed in each situation. Find that middle path. Really see the value of both reason and emotion. And then going with the flow, being able to respond with spontaneity. One way that I suggest for students to really practice these what skills is through brushing your teeth, to be able to observe, describe, and participate fully in that activity. Feel the bristles on every part of your gums. Feel the coolness of the water, the taste of the toothpaste. Feel the pressure of the toothbrush. Really being able to participate in that action and bringing your present awareness into what's happening right then and there, not thinking about everything that you have to do for the day or everything that you did um, that day, but just really focusing on the act of brushing your teeth. And then we get into the how skills of mindfulness. So, this is how do we want to apply our what skills? First skill is to be non judgmental towards yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your feelings. See the things that come up for you, but don't evaluate as good or bad. Accept each moment like a blanket spread out on a lawn, accepting both the rain and the sun and each leaf that falls upon it. Acknowledge the difference between the helpful and the harmful, the safe and the dangerous, but don't judge them. Acknowledge your values, your wishes, your emotional reactions, but don't judge them. And when you find yourself judging, because it will happen, don't judge your judging. The judging of our judging is really what gets us kind of into that shame spiral. So, being able to notice when that is happening and just gently bringing your mind and your awareness back to the present moment. The next house skill is one mindfully. So, we're trying to just do one thing at a time and not multitasking, which I think as students we're often encouraged to do. We often think that we have to multitask. And yet, there's actually a lot of research that shows that multitasking affects our memory, affects our ability to intake information. And so, approaching things one mindfully, one at a time, letting go of other distractions, will actually let you be more connected to content, to people, to your own reactions. So, really just noticing if you're thinking about multiple things, if you're doing several things at once, how can you slow that process down and concentrate on one thing at a time? And the last house skill is effectively. So, we want to be mindful of our goals in the situation and do what is necessary to achieve them by focusing on what works. We want to act as skillfully as we can and let go of any willfulness, meaning letting go of that part of our mind that says, I don't want to do this, and really just participating fully. Thinking about a chore that you don't like to do, maybe dishes, just really throwing yourself into it, being able to participate one mindfully in that activity, fully being present, Really feeling the warmth of the water on your hands, smelling the soap that you're using, being able to engage in that activity with purpose and with intention. So, as I said in the beginning of the podcast, meditation is just one way of practicing mindfulness. There's lots of different ways that we can practice mindfulness. Prayer is a way. Um, like I said, washing the dishes can be a mindful practice. Making coffee or tea in the morning, really throwing yourself into that action. Any moment of the day can really be taken as a mindful practice. Even just simply noticing 5 things, using all of your senses. So, pausing in your day and looking around to notice 5 things you can see. Listen carefully and notice 5 things that you can hear. Notice 5 things that you can feel in contact with your body. Maybe even trying to smell 5 things as you're making the coffee. Can you smell 5 different things? And if you're in the morning and you're eating, or in the afternoon, can you taste 5 different things wherever you are and whatever time of day it is? Really connecting with your senses. And again, noticing if your mind gets pulled away, bringing it back in a non-judgmental way and throwing yourself into that activity, participating fully and one mindfully. Each activity, each part of your life can be an opportunity for mindfulness. And so I encourage you all to take 5 to 10 minutes a day to really focus your attention on whatever activity you're going to engage in, fully participating in it, and letting yourself practice that mindful awareness, building that mindful muscle. As a reminder, we have great mindfulness resources located on our self-help library on our counseling resources webpage. Also, the Therapy Assistance online tool has a mindfulness library that is free and open to all. Until we talk again, this is Karen Miller, wishing you hope, health, and happiness. Stay Aggie strong.